Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome, one and all, big and small, all around just people. Welcome to today's improv story stream, improv story Monday stream. That is the day. And you know what? Today's been pretty nice. We'll say. Had a nice day today, and I hope your day has also been nice in your week. And if not, then hopefully this stream will turn it all around for you. Hopefully. I'm looking forward to this one as well. I'm looking forward to the stream. It was a request. I said this yesterday, but in case you weren't there yesterday, this was a request by someone on YouTube who watched. Might be on Twitch now. I don't know, but someone by the name of Chicken Man requested that we do a stream of Warburton Pig spelunking in a mysterious cave. So, you know, that's what we're going to be doing. He's going to be going into a cave. He's going to be looking around, and I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be something. And you know what? Hopefully it'll be funny. I'm sure it will be. But I'm a little red in case you're new here and or forgot who I was. My intro is all out of whack. But before we get into the story, our little old thoughts. It is on the way. For both Night Rain, I guess, yeah, Night Rain's on the way as well. But Void Stranger especially, I really have just been putting it off. Rewriting the script for it. I wrote it, I recorded it, and I just sounded bored the entire time, so I finally got back to rewriting it. And hopefully, I hope sometime this week, we will have it out, and you can watch it, and enjoy it, and praise it, and all the other great stuff. That is the hope. And I wrote the script for Night Rain, so we are good there. Might go over it a few times, but, you know, we'll get to it. I'm rambling, as I usually do, but rambled a little long this time around. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's do it. Let me pull out the puppet. As you can see, give him a little helmet for fun. And we can dim the lights in the theater. Right about there. That's about good. This is a little dark. Oh yeah, it's very dark. Doesn't have one of the things active. Alright. And now, with all the stuff set up and done, let's get right into it, shall we? Ahem. So, this story starts out not at my house for once. For once, I did not start at my house. This story starts on my morning walk. My morning walk through the woods. Just going down the path, looking at the trees, all the birds singing. It was a pretty nice day. Like I said, the birds were singing, the trees were nice. There were a few squirrels playing around. There was a mysterious cave, cliffside right over there. And has that cave always been there? I cautiously kind of just approached the cave and seemed to be like, I kind of knew that this cave had always been here. It wasn't a new cave or anything, and we didn't like get the cave installation people to come and install a new cave into the side of the cliff. No, this cave had been here. I, for some reason, simply hadn't noticed it before. It was quite strange. And so I actually did get the cave people just to make sure we didn't get any new caves installed recently. And I went down to the office and I said, "Excuse me, do you guys install a cave along this little path?" And it's just, "What path?" Now I wouldn't show them. Just cave right there. Just, oh yeah, there is a cave right there. I guess I never really noticed that. Yeah, that's not new. That's been there. Don't you think it's kind of weird that it's like right up at the top of this cliff and there seems to go nowhere and yet there's a deep tunnel inside? Listen, pal, my job is just to install caves. I don't actually know how they work. I just operate a drill and run if something starts falling. You know what? It's a good excuse. I'll let you get back to your day. Do you have any, like, advice on how to deal with weird caves? I don't know, man. Just look inside, see what's there. And I like that advice. Look inside and see what's there. It was stupid. It was really bad advice, I will say. You don't want to go just going into random caves. But I was curious. And I was adventurous. So I went down to the local spelunkying shop, if you have a few in town. I bought some helmets and a couple ropes and things, and I was ready. I felt prepared to go into the cave. Until I walked back up the mountain, and I stood in front of the cave, and as I approached, I felt more and more like a heaviness. Like a weird feeling. I can't quite describe it. I don't know what it was. But I approached it, and this was a weird cave, I will admit. It wasn't a normal cave. It was a very, very weird cave. But I approached it still and began to walk in. And despite it being like at the top of this mountain, looking like there was nothing behind, it was a long, dark passage. I turned on my headlight and I could not see the end of it. It just went on and on. And I began to walk into the cave. Then I went. I've never really been spelunking before. I'm sure it's okay. I mean, a long, ominous, dark tunnel that, you know, technically shouldn't exist. But it does. But, you know, I'm sure I'll be fine! And I fell deep into a pit. Very low, very far, I fell to the ground. And I tumbled and I rolled. Though there was one thing that kept me alive. I have mastered a powerful skill that not many know. Yeah, you even wrote a book about it. It's called yoga. You do just the perfect pose, make the perfect, if you've ever fallen from a cliff or something like that, this is my life advice to you. If you've ever fallen from a cliff, just strike a crane pose and you'll just glide down gently. And that is, you can also learn more poses in my book of War Veterans Pig's Guide to Yoga and Fallen. Bestseller for about a week. But either way, I was floating down, I was floating. And eventually I landed gently. And still kind of just a shock from everything that happened. My yoga instincts kicking in instinctively. Just, I'm stuck in a mysterious cave that shouldn't exist. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Hello? Is anyone else down here? And I heard off in the distance just, what's that? and like a little scurrying sound. And there was, I don't quite know how to describe it, but it was like a little mushroom man, like a little weird looking mushroom man, just kind of popped its head out. Just, who are you? I'm War Veteran Pig. I fell down into the cave. There was this big cave up on a cliff. Yeah, I know the cave. You're in the cave. Just how? If I were in the cave, why would I not know the fact that it's a cave? Right. Sorry, I shouldn't mention the fact that it's a cave. I just, I fell in. By managed to actually fall slowly using my yoga falling. But I'm kind of stuck down here now. I wanted to go explore because I never noticed this cave. Yeah, I put that barrier up to stop people from noticing it. Just to keep people from falling in. Everyone goes into the tunnel like, oh, it's a mysterious cave. And then what do you know? But bam! They hit the ground and they just stop living. It's just problematic. I had to put the magic barrier up, but you noticed it. Yeah, I did. I mean, I haven't noticed it for a while, but I did notice it now. Can you tell me how to get out of here? Out of the cave? Why do you want to leave? I mean, you got everything down here. It's a good place. Got a lot of places to spread your spores. Plenty of them. It was very moist as well. All great things. Hey, listen, pal. I think that only applies to you. I'm not a mushroom. You're not? No, I'm not. Yeah, I suppose I probably should have put on my glasses. I just didn't really expect company. I never really do. Well, anyway, if you want to get out of the cave, it's just a simple trick of, just making your way through the labyrinth that is the cave. In fact, I kind of stick to this one area. I don't go very far, but I could try and help you if you want. Okay, yeah, any help to get out of the cave is greatly appreciated. Okay. Here's how I can help. If you ever hear a low growl off in one of the tunnels, don't go that way. That's it. That's all you have to offer. Listen, I don't memorize these tunnels. I just wander around them and enjoy the fact that I live in a cave. Now, can you please get out of my cave so I can enjoy my cave solitude? You like saying the word cave a lot. Of course I do. I live in a cave. If I didn't live in a cave, why would I need this? You didn't think that went through, did you? No, I didn't. I guess I just like the word cave. Alright, well, I'll leave you be. And so I left the grumpy mushroom man and just started to wander around the cave, thinking, you know what, I will find my way out of this cave eventually. About 15 minutes had passed, and I was still wandering. I went down several tunnels, and they all just looked the same. I would go down a tunnel and wind in one direction, go in another, and then suddenly I just end up, like, at the same spot. I didn't even know it was the same spot. It just looked all kinds of similar. But then I started to wander more, and just eventually, as I was starting to give up, I noticed something. A draft. A gentle draft. Coming out through a small crack in the wall I hadn't noticed before. And it seemed like there was light from the other side. And I quickly went over there. I crawled through it. Come on. Gotta get to the light. And I came out. And I emerged in a room full of crystals. All glowy and glittery. It wasn't the outside. In fact, it didn't really seem to be anywhere close to the outside. Just a bunch of glowy crystals. All seemed to reflect in weird ways, like a funhouse mirror, except all of them had different expressions and it was strange. Just kind of stood this way. Wait, what about the draft? Where did that draft go? Where was it? And there I saw it. The source of the draft. It was a bunch of pigeons trying to play flutes. Now, if you ever seen a pigeon, you know that they probably can't play a flute very well. Well, this was the same case. They did not know how to play the flutes. They were blowing in those flutes and just doing an all-around terrible job. But it just kind of made me realize that the air from the flutes and the collective pigeons was causing the draft. And I'm not very fluent in pigeon, but I, again, needed a way out of here. So I approached the pigeons and I said, "Excuse me, dear pigeons, coo. And one of the pigeons looked up at me and said, "My good sir, why are you saying coo to me?" Oh, thank goodness you speak English. I'm not going to question it in the slightest. Listen, I need to get out of this cave. Do you have any means of, like, knowledge of how to get out of here? It's a bit of a conundrum. I'm stuck in here. How did you guys get in here? Well, we took a couple tunnels down and just found a bunch of flutes in a room not far from here. That's where the music troll lives. The music troll, okay. He is actually the original person who made this cave. He lived here long ago and has lived here since. So, did he live here long ago? Or has he always been living here? I say a bit of both. Okay. So he would probably know the way out of this cave? Oh, most certainly. He is a fine gentleman. You will probably get along. Great. Can you point me in his direction? Well, you see, we here have been trying to play these flutes for quite some time, haven't we, fellas? Yes, we have. Yes, so you see, we don't entirely know the way out ourselves. We have forgotten, so we just decided to dedicate ourselves to playing flutes until we die. Ah. Is that a happy existence? Oh, most certainly. We are pigeons, and we don't do much otherwise. Just eat some garbage or something. But those are for simple pigeons. We are the fancy pigeons, aren't we? Yes, we are. Yes. So, just find your way. I believe it might be down that tunnel over there. And just try and find your way to the music troll. You should hear him playing. That should help you along your way. All right, thank you, dear pigeons. You are kind souls. I will go do that. And so I ran off, seeing the pigeons constantly attempting to blow into the whistles to no avail. But eventually, I made it to the tunnel and I crawled through. And I didn't really hear anything, but I had hope that I would one day finally come across it. Finally come across the musician. The music troll. So I wandered and I wandered. And once again, it felt like I was simply repeating. And this time, it turns out I was. I had just been taking rights the entire time. I never thought to take a single left in that whole loop that I was in. So I took the first left and I started to hear a guitar. And I thought to myself, that must be the music troll. And so I ran in that direction, and fell face first into a very large puddle. I wouldn't say it's a lake or a pond, just a large puddle. And there in the center of the puddle sat the music troll, plucking away at his guitar. Not the most handsome fellow, I'd say, but he had a big nose, hunched over, but gosh darn it, he could play that guitar really well. And I kind of just sat there, memorized, and Then eventually I kind of stood up, which caused some more ripples in the water. And he stopped and turned to me and he said, "Oh, so another soul has fallen into the cave. Well, I'm happy to make your acquaintance. I am the music troll." It's nice to meet you, Music Troll. I reached out and shook his hand and immediately regretted it. It was slimy and sticky at the same time, and also somehow slippery. He was a troll through and through. And so I say, while washing my hand in the water quite thoroughly, just, I heard you were the one who actually made the cave here. You're its oldest resident. Can you perhaps, show me the way out? And he did, and the troll ended up saying, "Oh, I would most certainly love to do so, but there's this one issue." Of course there is. You see, though I am the oldest resident in this place, why is the accent changing? I don't know. It just happens over time. I just get different accents when I talk. I can't quite control it. It just happens. It's very strange, actually. I don't know. You're a weird troll. Yes, well, music trolls often are quite known for their strangeness. Anyways, the person who actually helped me build the cave is the great fairy being of something. The great fairy being of something? Yes, she lives right over there, just a few tunnels that way, and you should find her. I'm like, it's like a labyrinth, and I have to go around in circles, and eventually I'll get there for after 20 minutes. No. It's just a straight line. Just keep going down forward that tunnel and you'll eventually reach her. And oh. Okay. Well, I thought it would be more difficult than that. Well, thank you, Mr. Music Troll. Oh, you're very welcome. Now go! Have fun and speak with the fairy of something. Is her name Lily the fairy of something? Yeah, no one knows what she's a fairy of, so they just called her the fairy of something. Okay, well, I'll go talk to this something fairy. Fairy of something. Right, sorry. And so I took the straight path. And you know what? The music troll was right. It did lead right to the music fairy. The fairy of something. Not the music fairy, that was the music troll. The music fairy lives off in Musiclandia on a giant violin. I'm sorry, I don't quite remember exactly what she's like, but it's been a while. So that's where she lives, and I know that. But the fairy of something, it makes sense why she is called the fairy of something, because the only part of the fairy of something that you can really comprehend with your human mind are the wings. That's what makes her a fairy. Otherwise, she's just a giant flying pair of wings. And she lives in this chamber full of stars and cosmos, and probably so many other things I can't quite comprehend. It's no wonder she built this cave. This is really something. There's so many things. I hear a party going on in one corner, and yet I hear like a poem being read in the other, in a language I don't even know exists anymore. Not it's no one speaks it. I don't know if it exists. I don't know if it's in human. I don't know if it's in a person's vocabulary or vocal cords. Just so much. And the giant wings came down towards me and looked at me and just said, "Hello, dear child. How may I help you?" Hello, fairy of something. I'm War Veteran Pig. Oh, I know your name. Oh, then do you know what I want to do? Like my desire and all that? Oh, no, I don't know that. I'm not good with desires, I'm just good with names. You got a very war veteran pig-esque look to you. Oh, thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate that. But anyway, I fell down into this hole in your cave, and I don't entirely know how to get back out. It's just I've just been kind of stuck here for a while, and it's just, I don't know, it's very strange, and I don't quite know how much time has passed, but I just kind of want to get back home and like maybe take a nap or something. Oh, dear child, of course you can do these things. I can help you leave the cave. Fantastic. But there was one small problem. Okay, come on, lady. You made the cave. Do you not know how to get out of it? You're the one who designed it. I know. But the only problem is I can't fully guide you out. I know it's just up that tunnel, but it's too small for me to fit through. That's the problem. You can't fit through the tunnel to lead me out. Yes, I am too large to fit through the tunnel. Can you just give me directions? And the fairy of something paused for a long moment and just said, I never thought of that. That's a good idea. Okay, so you just want to go straight, and then take your first left, and then a little forward, and then on the second right, you just go up there, mine the hole, and just, should be headed out after like a half an hour of traveling down the dark and ominous tunnel towards the light. Thank you. Thank you so much. And nothing weird will have happened from me exiting this cave, will it? I will be okay and everything. Oh, most certainly. Thousands, and you have been in this cave, though, for over thousands of years, millennia, and yet at the same time, you've been here for mere seconds. But you shall return to your own time. Or if you just step out at the right moment, should be like, I don't know, 3:06 p.m.? I like to believe your watch should still work when you get to the edge of the cave. And just step out at the right exact moment, a few milliseconds in, you should be fine. Okay, that's a little terrifying, and if I don't do that, oh, you'll either jump in between like a few seconds ahead or behind, or a few millennia. It all depends. And just worth noting that the planet's location will have shifted, so you may end up in outer space as well. Okay, great, I'll do that. I will be careful. Anything else I should know? Well, for entering the cave, part of your soul will be always immortalized in here, because some part of you will always be in the cave, no matter what. Though, I do hope you enjoy your time outside the cave, and just knowing that you will now live forever in here. Okay, lady, I somehow don't understand anything you're saying, and yet it makes perfect sense at the same time, but I really appreciate the directions, and I'm gonna get going before any more weird stuff happens and I run out of time. That's probably a good idea. Farewell, war veteran pig. May you have a nice journey. Thank you. And so I left. I walked out towards the edge of the cave and just minded the gap. And in fact, I, staring down the dark tunnel on the other end, saw myself fall into the hole. And that was weird. But I jumped over the hole to make sure that I didn't fall in. That's my other book, by the way, War Veterans Pig Warfare and Pig's Guide to Yoga and Jumping. It was a pretty big hole, but thanks to my tree pose, I made it across safely. And I stood there looking at my watch. It was normal. It was ticking by now. I'm not flying around like crazy. But the outside world was. It was flickering about. The seasons changed. Different things. So much was happening at one singular time. I saw space for me moments, and occasionally, for like a split of a second, I'd see that same spot. But it'd be different. Like as if like the cave was suspended at one singular point in space and time. And I began to just stare at my watch and stare at it. And eventually, I got to the correct point. I took a leap of faith and jumped out and landed in the grass and just turned around to look at the cave, seeing myself enter one final time, just like as a past me, just entering the cave. And I turned and I blinked, and it was gone, as if it had never existed in the first place. Now that was a really weird experience. I don't entirely understand it, but it happened. It did happen. And you know what? Every now and then, I'll feel a slight draft from some pigeons attempting to play a flute, or the sound of guitar, of a music troll plucking his instrument, or every so often, just the humph of an angry little mushroom man. The end. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. I had fun with it. I'm sorry I didn't read your messages. I saw that Nico Geki, thank you for stopping by again. Yes, we were cave diving. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. Now that the stream's over, I can finally read your messages. One day I'll submit a whole D&D campaign into the Improv request and make it the most detailed and lore-filled episode. Well, then it wouldn't be Improv, would it? You gotta leave at least a little bit. Well, leave a little room for me to work with, you know? But I hope you all enjoyed that stream and the story. I really, like I said, I already really enjoyed it. That was very fun, very weird, and it'll be a lot of lore, but then it'll be a dumb prompt. Okay, it could be fun. So, also, if you yourself want to submit, like our friend Declan in the YouTube chat is saying, if you want to submit your own improv story prompt for me to do on these Mondays, you can do it there. Just simply 2 questions. You can have your Twitch or YouTube name, or leave it blank if you want to be anonymous, and then submit your story prompt. So feel free to click on that link and go there and do that. But we'll be back again. Thank you for the clap, Sparkle Donkey. But come Friday, we will be. I think the official plan is we're gonna do Far Lone Sales starting Friday, and then after that we're gonna do Manifold Garden. After that, it's gonna be Sword of the Sea, and then finally finishing off that 4 games I have planned with Silk Song. And after that, I don't know what we'll do. Hope you like reading my prompt. Hope you like reading my prompt. Will be insane. All right. We'll see. We'll see how insane it truly is. But again, thank you everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out and watching. Trying to hit affiliate. I already mentioned this before, but we've seen an average of 3 viewers on 4 different days. So if you can let your friends know if they think they'd like this stuff, like the content that's here, and just tune back in yourself if you feel like it. But until then, until next Friday, when I'll hopefully see you all again, as per usual, I'm headed back out to space. If you're in space, I'll see you there. And if not, then I won't. And maybe we'll run into each other in the cave that is run by the fairy of something. I don't know if she runs it. She just created it. Fairy of something cave. That's what we'll call it. Bye-bye!